Before you compare any two homes in Punta Gorda, there are two questions almost nobody asks. And if you get either one wrong, you either overpay for the wrong house or you walk right past the one that was actually the better deal. Question 1. Are these two houses even competing with each other? A home in Punta Gorda Isles and a new build out on the Burnstore corridor are in completely different markets with completely different comps. That alone changes what a house is worth. Question 2 is the one that costs people real money every single month. Sticker price isn't the comparison. With rates right around 6.5, $500,000 home can carry a higher monthly payment than a $540,000 home. We're going to run both questions on real numbers. Takes about 6 minutes. Real quick before we get into it, if you're looking at homes here right now and you want us to actually run these numbers on the two you're considering, there's a link in the description to book a free call. That's what we do all day. All right, question 1. Here's the thing most people get wrong from out of state. They think Punta Gorda is one market. It isn't. It's a bunch of small ones sitting right next to each other. Punta Gorda Isles, Burnstore Isles, the 17 corridor, and then the new construction communities out on Burnstore Road like Turnleaf, Esplanade at Starling, Coral Lakes, Cassia Bay, Heritage Station. Every one of those has its own comp. And the single biggest thing that changes the math is this. Is there a builder in your comp set or not? Out on the Burnstore corridor, there is. There's an active builder still selling the same floor plan 2 streets over. Over in Punta Gorda Isles, there's no production builder at all. Different market, different rules, and different math. So when someone sends me a PGI listing and a new build on the corridor and asks which one's the better deal, my honest answer is those two houses aren't even competing with each other. That's not one comparison, that's 2 separate decisions. Which brings us to the part that actually costs you money. Let's say you've sorted that out and you're comparing 2 homes that generally do compete. A resale at $500,000 and a new build at $540,000. Almost everybody stops right there. Cheaper house wins. Done. But here's what's actually happening. When a builder does a rate buy down, that costs them real money, and it hands you a lower payment for as long as you hold that loan. So you take the same buyer, 20% down, today's rate's around 6.5, and you run both houses. That $500,000 house can absolutely come out more expensive every month than that $540,000 one. And I want to be clear, these are example numbers to show you how this works, not a quote. Your actual payment depends on your rate, your credit, your down payment, taxes, insurance, escrow. Sit down with the lender and run your real ones. Now, can a resale seller compete? Sometimes. If they've done genuinely meaningful upgrades, that helps. But here's the honest reality. Most people never spend that money after they close. So it comes back to price. I'll tell you what I see doing this every week. In the communities where the builder's still active and the product is fairly cookie cutter, so think D.R. Horton, Lennar, a resale generally has to sit somewhere around 10 to 15% under what the builder's asking on a comparable home just to get showings. Not to sell it, to get people through the door. That's the number nobody's running for you. The builder's sale rep isn't going to compare their home to a resale, and plenty of agents aren't going to compare a resale against the builder. So the one number that actually decides this just never gets put in front of you. Now here's the part that makes all this harder than it should be, and it's the reason I can't just tell you to go run the numbers yourself. You can't actually find the builder's numbers. Rate buy downs, closing cost credits, upgrade allowances, lot adjustments. Most of that never hits the MLS and it's not on their website either. Everything out on that corridor is negotiable, but you can't negotiate against a number you can't see. That's the piece I'd want you to take away. It's not that new construction is better or a resale is better. It's that half the numbers are hidden. And if you're researching this from Illinois or Michigan, you have no way to see them. Somebody writing deals on that corridor consistently knows roughly where each builder will stretch and where they won't.
Now, everything we just talked about assumes you're comparing the right 2 houses in the first place. And a lot of people never get that far because of the order that they do this in. Every builder out on that corridor is aiming at a different version of the same buyer. Somebody who wants a slower pace and doesn't need to be sitting near an office, but each neighborhood delivers that differently, and so does each builder. Most people do this completely backwards. They walk into a model center, they fall in love with the floor plan, and then they back their way into a neighborhood they never would have chosen on purpose. Do it in this order instead. Lifestyle first, then neighborhood, then builder. Because you can change the floor plan. You can't change where the house sits. So look, you can absolutely do all of this on your own. People do. It's just gonna take you a lot longer. There's a lot more you'd have to learn. And honestly, you're probably still gonna miss things. That's not a knock on anybody. There's just a lot here that isn't published anywhere. In most cases on this corridor, the builders cover our side, which means having somebody in your corner usually costs you nothing out of pocket. And we'll put that in writing before you ever walk into a model center, so you know exactly where you stand. So the question I'd ask yourself is there any reason not to have an advocate? And one last thing, right now you've got a ton of options here. Nothing about how this market is moving says you have to decide this week. So don't rush. Do your research, just get somebody in your corner before you walk into that model center. So we make the best decision, not the fastest one. If you want us to run these exact numbers on 2 homes that you are looking at, head over to talkpuntagorda.co and book a free call with us. That's talkpuntagorda.co. Hit subscribe if this was useful. We're doing one of these every week. And next week, we're getting into the one that costs people the most money and nobody warns them about. Which upgrades in a new builder actually hold their value and which ones you'll never see again. I'll put it right here.